idea that I was finally going to be getting married? Isn't it just so exciting? I can't believe that it's finally happening. And the man is super duper rich, too. It's perfect. It's just the way that I've always wanted to get married. Too bad a sad, boring, pathetic loser like you could never even dream of achieving something like this in your entire life. So that's why I thought I would tell you.
Wait a second. Is this Lucy? I can't even remember the last time that you and I talked. And just why in the world are you messaging me about this right now?
What do you mean, why? Did you not read any of the messages that I just sent to you? Are you stupid or something? I am messaging you to let you know that I'm getting married. Isn't that obvious? And just what is with that attitude that you're taking with me, huh? You ought to be much more grateful that I'm even deigning to message someone like you in the first place. Honestly, I show you all of this kindness and consideration, and this is how you show your gratitude to me. You really do have a lot of nerve, do you know that?
Literally, what in the world are you talking about? What part of any of this conversation is you being kind to me? Anyways, message received. I know you're getting married. Congrats, or whatever.
You know, you really are starting to piss me off with this crappy attitude of yours. I expected you to be happy for me. You should be much more cheery and excited that I'm finally getting married.
Well, I really just don't know what you want me to say to that. I mean, we aren't in high school anymore, you know? So if you're just hoping to message me out of the blue like this after all this time and expect me to pretend to be happy for you, well, it's just not going to happen. Now, is there anything else that I can do for you, or are we done here?
Well, you should just know that you weren't even invited to my wedding anyways. So there.
Okay, that is just fine for me. Thanks for letting me know officially, though. I appreciate that.
I mean, did you really think that I was going to let some weirdo, a little shut-in nobody like you into my amazing wedding? Yeah, a fat chance. After all, I know that you came to our high school reunion when we had it not that long ago. You really think that you can brag to everyone just because you got to go to college? Well, nobody even cares.
I wasn't bragging to anyone about going to college, but also I graduated a long time ago. You realize it's been years since we talked, right? And I never really expected you to even invite me to your wedding in the first place, so none of this really comes as a surprise. In fact, if that's all you came to tell me, I really don't think that we even had to have this conversation in the first place anyways.
Well, you should also know that I'm going to be inviting everyone from high school to my wedding, and that's why I had to reach out to you to let you know that you can't come. You and all your weirdo little friends aren't going to be invited to what is surely going to be the wedding of the century.
Yeah, again, you really didn't need to tell me any of this because I already wasn't planning on going, nor was I even expecting an invitation in the first place. I wouldn't even want to go if you did invite me. You literally could have just not texted me anything at all and the outcome would have still been the exact same.
Well, I just wanted to let you know so that you wouldn't come begging to me later to invite you too when you found out about everyone who would be going. But the answer is no. It just isn't going to happen. I'm not even going to think about having to deal with a gross dumb loser like you on my big day.
Lucy, are you even reading any of these messages that I'm sending you at all right now? I don't want to be invited. I don't want to go. I didn't even want to know that you were getting married in the first place. But what did I expect from you? It's clear that you haven't changed at all in all this time. But can you just please stop messaging me? You're really annoying, and it bugs me. I mean, we weren't even friends to begin with, so there really is no need for us to be talking to each other now that we're adults and so far removed from high school.
again trying to brag about how you think that you're so much better than everyone. You think you're better than me just because you went to college? I know that isn't it at all. You're just scared to even have to think about reliving our days in high school. That's why after you graduated, you even had to move states just to get away from me. And I stayed home and never left, because everyone knew that I was the prom queen, and that I would always be the prom queen for all of time there. That's why you left.
I was not running away from you or high school, Lucy. If you think that's what I was doing, that says more about you than it does me. I left the state because I got a scholarship at the college that I went to. And besides, plenty of people moved away after graduating. But you should know that I'm really not the same person that I was when we were still in high school. But there hasn't ever been even a single day where I ever thought about wanting to see you again. So anyways, congrats on your wedding. I'm sure that you're very happy to be doing it. But you should know that you have nothing to worry about because I won't be going.
Hey Rachel, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm engaged. I guess maybe Mom might have sent you a message about that or something. But I also wanted a chance to tell you myself. So that's the big news.
Mom did tell me about that already, but I'm still so excited for you. That really is just the most amazing news, Eric. And I also just wanted to say that I really am sorry that I wasn't able to meet the lucky lady when you brought her to Mom and Dad's house.
Oh, it's okay. I know that you're really busy with, well, basically everything, right? Besides, there's nothing wrong with just meeting her at my wedding.
Well, I really am looking forward to it. I still just can't believe that you're going to be getting married.
I know, right? Anyways, I've sent out the wedding invitation soon, so that should tell you all the details that you need to know. And then all you have to do is RSVP.
Well, I'll just keep my eyes peeled for it then. Actually, I think the mailman already dropped off stuff, so maybe I'll go and check my mailbox now.
For sure. Just let me know when it all arrives for you. And there's actually something else that I kind of wanted to talk to you about.
Your invitation did come! Oh my gosh, this is so exciting! I can't wait to open it and see what it looks like! And yeah, of course, you know that you can talk to me about anything. What's up?
Well, the thing is that the person I'm going to marry was someone you went to high school with.
Oh, really? Well, that's kind of a small world moment, isn't it? I wonder who it could be.
Well, I think it was actually a girl from your same year. Because she's the same age that you are, now that I think about it. So I think there's a chance that you might know her.
Well, I just opened up the wedding invitation, and yes, I think it is safe to say that I do know who this person is.
Ah, I thought so. So you recognize the face and name from when you were a student in high school?
I do, yes. But have you told your fiancé that I am who I am? Does she know all that much about me?
Well, no, not exactly. I've dropped hints, but I haven't right out told her exactly who you are. I mean, I remember you didn't really have a good time at all in high school, and so anyways, I just wanted to give you a little forewarning about who I was going to be marrying. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't someone that you had some kind of huge problem with back then, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Eric, I really appreciate how thoughtful you're being with this, but I want my high school days to not affect your wedding at all. To answer your question, however, I do know who this person is. We were in the same year through all of high school and had plenty of classes together.
Oh, really? So then it's not just another student, but someone you actually used to know pretty well then, is that right? Sometimes, the world really is just a bit too small, isn't it?
You really don't even know the half of it. Actually, it might just be better if you and I could talk a bit more about this in person.
Oh, really? You mean like go meet at a cafe or something like that? Is that alright? It seems a bit unlike you since you're always so busy.
I know, but I really do want to be there to help you celebrate your wedding, so I just think it might be best to talk about this.
Well, okay then. if you really think this is worth having a conversation about. I'll make some time in my schedule, and we'll try and find a time soon to talk about this.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll send you some times that work for me, and you can tell me if any of them work for you. And I really am happy that you're getting married and that you're happy with the woman you're with. I'm looking forward to being there for you.
Excuse me, but what in the hell do you think you're doing at my wedding? How did an ugly, creepy little loser like you manage to sneak your way in here, huh? Don't you realize that you're just being an eyesore for everyone here? You're ruining the whole mood of my special day right now.
Do you even realize what you've done? You really have no idea just how much trouble you're about to be in.
I should be saying the same thing about you right now. Now, I want to know how you managed to sneak your way in here and why nobody stopped you at the door. Don't they let people at the front know that you're not invited? Your name shouldn't have been on a list anywhere, and yet you managed to break in here.
I really think that you don't know what you're talking about at all right now. I mean, I didn't sneak in here, if you must know. But more importantly, I want to know why you thought it was okay to throw your glass of red wine all over my dress. I got dressed up and came here to help celebrate this wedding, and you went and did this to me. What is your problem? Why do you always have to act like this?
You know exactly why I had to do what I did to you. You really think that I'm going to let some loser from my high school days try and ruin my wedding like this? Of course you snuck in. I know for a fact that I told you not to show up here, and yet you had the audacity to show your face. I told you that I didn't want to see you or any of your weird, nerdy little friends at my wedding. Everyone else from high school was supposed to be here, but you. Or do you just hate me so much that you wanted to ruin my big day? Do you want me to hate you even more now?
Again, I really think that you're not getting the whole picture. You're missing a lot of information. It's going to go bad for you.
And just what do you know that I don't about my own damn wedding, huh? You're nothing but an annoying, condescending loser. And now you've gone and completely ruined the mood of what was supposed to be my big perfect day. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life since senior prom. But no, you had to be the lame little creep that you are and show up where you aren't even wanted and weren't even invited.
And I am telling you that you are wrong about that. You don't know what you're talking about. You jumped to conclusions. You threw the wine and you ruined the mood. Not only that, but despite all of this being your own fault, you haven't even apologized to me once.
Apologize? You want me to apologize to you? You want the bride to apologize to some unwanted guest on the day of her wedding? You must really think the world revolves around you, huh? Well, if you're waiting for me to say that I'm sorry, you'll be waiting a long time. Besides, I was the one who told you not to show up to my wedding in the first place, remember?
And that's why you were trying to bully me out of your wedding? To make me go away? That's why you threw wine on my dress.
Of course. It's clear to me that my words weren't enough to get the message through to you. So I had to take more drastic steps. I just hope that you finally learned your lesson about doing what I say. Now get out of here and never come back again.
All right, then. But I guess you'll just have to explain to your husband-to-be why his sister isn't at his wedding.
What are you even talking about this time? Huh?
No, don't let me take up any more of your time. I'll do just as you say and go away. I can tell where I'm not wanted. But I just want you to know that you're probably going to regret this. Of course, when you do finally get punished for all of this, you'll have no one else to blame but yourself. What is the matter with you, Lucy? Can you please stop blowing up my phone like this? You're being so obnoxious and creepy right now. I mean, you must have left at least 300 text messages and missed calls on my phone.
You think I'm being annoying now? You haven't seen anything yet. But I want to know what you think you're doing right now. The wedding is about to start and things are falling apart really quickly.
And just why do you think any of that is my fault? Unless this is your way of saying that you've finally figured out who I am.
So then it's true. Everything that people have been telling me about you since I made you leave is all really the truth.
You mean the fact that I'm Eric's little sister? Yes, if that's what you heard, then that much is the truth.
But, I mean, this can't be right. I mean, I know that Eric has a younger sister, but he never told me all that much about her. Please tell me that you're kidding me, right? I mean, you're really his little sister. Oh, that can't be. This can't be happening.
Well, I already tried to warn you that you were missing some very important information before you tried kicking me out. Although, to be fair, I really have no idea what my older brother is doing marrying a woman like you.
This doesn't make any sense at all, though. I mean, how can you two be related when you're so far apart in age? I really had no idea that your older brother was, well, so much older than you.
You're right about that. We do have about an 8-year gap in between the two of us. But that still doesn't answer what I want to know. Just how in the world did you fool my little brother into wanting to marry you? That's what I can't understand.
I didn't trick him at all. How dare you even try to insinuate that about us?
Oh, really? Because I don't think that you've been telling my brother about who you really are as a person.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? You think you know who I am better than I do?
Oh, I think I know exactly the kind of person that you really are. I have more than enough memories of high school to back those thoughts up as well.
Wait a second. You haven't told your brother about the kind of things that I would do to you in high school, have you?
No, I haven't told Eric about all the ways that you used to bully me. Yet. It's clear that my brother must have some kind of true feelings for you, so I haven't decided whether or not to tell him the whole truth yet. And if you really do want to know, I'm leaning towards not telling him anything. What happened in the past was between us, and it really isn't any of his business.
That's right. It is none of his business, and it's just between you and I. So why don't you just keep your big trap shut?
Oh, trust me, I'm not going to tell him a word at all. But I really don't think that's going to make a difference for you at all.
And just what do you mean by that? What do you mean it's not going to make a difference?
I mean, just think about it. Think about what you did to me, and I really don't think I need to go that much deeper. Either way, I don't think it's going to make any difference now. But just don't say that I didn't warn you.
Warn me? Warn me about what? There's nothing to warn me about, and you aren't going to get in the way of me being with Eric.
You know, when Eric first told me that he was going to be getting married and I looked at the invitation, I have to say that I was honestly surprised to see that he was going to be marrying you. I thought to myself that surely this was proof that the universe did have a sense of humor and that it was a dark one.
Well, if you were surprised, then so was I. I had no idea that marrying would have to mean that I would be gaining such a terrible little sister-in-law. I have no idea how I'm even supposed to be enjoying being married when I only have the full picture now.
Well, then it sounds to me like you really don't know my brother all that well at all.
You really are just full of presumptions, aren't you? Who do you think you are to tell me that I don't know the man that I'm about to marry, huh? You really need to watch the way that you talk to me.
I don't know. I mean, you got married to him without even knowing that he had a sister who was me. It just makes me wonder what else you don't know and if you're going to regret what you've done.
Regret? There's nothing to even regret. Everything is going to be just fine and nothing you can do is going to change that.
I see. And just how do you think that you're going to get along being part of the family with my parents and I then? Huh?
What do you mean by that? Why should I care at all about you or your cruddy family?
Well, you do realize that now that the two of you are going to be getting married to each other, that this means that you and I are going to be seeing a lot more of each other from now on. You can only try and avoid me for so long. But sooner or later, the issues between us are going to come to head. So why don't we just talk them out now and get this over with?
Wait a second. Why are you doing this? I don't get it. I don't remember you being like this from high school. You were such a pushover who let me do whatever I wanted to her. Oh, but surely we can patch this right up. We can go back to being the way that we used to be. We were friends, remember? I was in charge and you did whatever I said.
Friends? Is that how you remember it? You really think that we were friends in high school?
Of course we were. We were always friends, remember? So let's just make up and forget all about the past and look forward to the future, okay? We can just let bygones be bygones and forget all about whatever we might remember about each other from back then.
I'm sorry, but that is not going to happen for me. I can't just let what you did to me go, and I don't think that my brother or my family is going to either. I'm not going to tell them about our past, but I am going to make sure that they know what you've done to me today.
Oh, come on. You don't have to go and do that. You're taking this whole thing way too far right now, don't you think? It was just a little bit of wine that I splashed on you anyways. You're not actually that upset about it, are you? I barely even did anything. Why are you doing this to me? What did I do to make you hate me like this?
You have done so much that to list it all right here would take too long, and I don't care to type out the essay of things that you put me through back then. But if you really want people to know about our past, how about I go and tell my family about the time that you poured hot oil on me when we were in home ec class? Do you have any idea how much pain I was in when you did that? I never told them who it was at school who did that to me. But I'm sure that my family would just love to know who it was.
No, wait. Please don't do this. You said you weren't going to tell anyone about anything that happened between us in high school. Don't you want your brother to be happy with me? If you care about him at all, then you can't tell him about us.
But I thought that we were friends. You mean you don't want me to tell him about how close you and I used to be? Just what do you want me to do in a situation like this, then? Huh?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean, what do I want you to do?
I mean that you kicked me out of your wedding because you thought I was still the loser you remember from high school. And now you need my help. I know that things are falling apart over there for you, and I'm the only one who can explain things to my brother. But if I talk to him, I'm only going to tell him the truth.
Please. Whatever you do, don't tell your brother about the wine. I'm begging you just to come back and set this all right. I promise that I won't do anything else to you. Just please don't say a word about how you and I used to be like that in high school to everyone, okay?
You know what? I think I've changed my mind about all of this. At first, I was going to try and let everything go and not say a word to anyone. But after all of this dredging up old memories that you've done, I think I've changed my mind. But you know what the saddest thing is? I knew that you were going to try and do something like this to me if I came today.
Please, just don't say anything to anyone. I'm begging you here. What do you want? Is it money? If it's money you want, then I can give you however much if that's what you want. Just please don't do this to me.
And just why do you think that I would want any money from you? Besides, what would even be the point in taking money from someone like you in the first place?
Rachel, please, this is my wedding day. I've been looking forward to this for so long. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life.
And I think it might have been too if I chose to just let all of this go. But now you're trying to get away with acting like a child, and on top of that, you still expect me not to tell my brother anything. Well, the only one who is going to be able to let all of this go now is my brother. Your fate is already out of my hands. I've already told him everything.
Wait a second, are you serious? Did you really tell your brother everything, even though I was still begging you not to? Why would you do that? Did you send the message just now? Can't you unsend everything? Please, I'm begging you.
You really are starting to get on my nerves now. Do you know that? I wish you'd just shut up and leave me alone already. If you're upset about what's happening right now, then you have no one else to blame but yourself. You did this to me, and now you're begging me to make you take responsibility for your actions. Well, now, I have been patient and passive and a victim long enough. I'm not going to stand for that awful behavior anymore.
Are you really this mad at me just because of a little wine that I threw on you? Isn't this taking things just a bit too far? I'll apologize to you if that's what you want. Just please, don't try and ruin my marriage with your brother. He's everything that I've ever wanted.
And by that, you mean rich enough to make it so that you'd never have to work another day in your life. Isn't that right? I know that you're unemployed after all.
What? Who told you that? How did you find out that I didn't have a job?
Well, my husband told me about it, of course.
Wait a second. Husband? You're married? I didn't know that.
Well, I am. And if you want another big surprise, I'm married to someone else that we used to have classes with. You remember Logan from algebra class? We had other classes with him too, but that was the one that the three of us had together. Well, he actually ended up going to the same college as me, and we started dating while we were there. Of course, when we got married, we both agreed that we didn't want you or any of the other horrible bullies that you hung out with to be there. Anyways, now that I've said that, I'm going to have a chat with my brother. After that, I called Eric and explained to him what Lucy did. Then I told him about how I didn't want to tell him about Lucy and I's past at first, but that after this incident, I thought he had a right to know. Needless to say, the wedding was not to be. Eric stormed into the main hall where the wedding was supposed to happen and apologized to everyone, but said that he couldn't marry Lucy because of what she did to me. Everyone turned to stare at her, and she was so humiliated that she ran out of the room. Lucy's parents went to talk to Eric, who explained to them everything that had happened between her and I. They apologized profusely and said that they would pay for all the decorations and reservations for the wedding that wasn't to be. I heard that after that, Lucy became a shut-in who barely left her home at all. Eric was also sad from all of this, but he told me he was just happy that he didn't end up married to someone who had and would continue to hurt his family.
I can't believe this company is making me work late once again today. I bet it's because this place is run by a high school graduate that there's never any work getting done on time here, right? How come a recently graduated new hire like myself has to stay late in order to help get work done here?
Melody, I'm so sorry to hear about this. But please remember that if you're going to talk with me over text like this, to please start by saying hello and introducing yourself. Were you never taught something such as that back when you were still in school? In most companies, it's custom to speak to another one of your coworkers with some amount of respect by greeting them first.
My God, you care way too much about something as inefficient as that. That's it right there. That's what I'm talking about right now. It's because you worry too much about things like that this company is going downhill. No wonder this company's never able to grow any larger than the size it's stuck at now.
You think this is what's stopping this company from growing? Well, this company is run by those who probably know a lot more about what they're doing than we know. So I'd suggest that people like you and Denise should not get worked up over what's going on higher up. I understand that having to work late all the time is not good, but luckily this company offers you overtime for your hard work.
And that right there is just complete and total nonsense. Would you please stop pushing your agenda onto me like that? I really don't care about this company's policies and the fact that you want me to greet you before we get to talking. At least I'm actually getting some work done around here, unlike others I've seen. The thing I want you to understand, though, is that if the person in charge had actually gone to college and graduated, then this company would be getting somewhere. Isn't that something everyone working in this company should be aware of?
Are you saying that already understanding the fact that I never went to college?
Well, I suppose I am. Considering that you somehow became a manager here and seem to think you know it all. But I'm the one that's actually went and gotten myself an education, and had you done the same, you'd understand what I'm talking about. You'd understand that by making a new hire like myself stay late to finish up others' work, you're not being a good manager at all. That means nobody running this company can see how inefficient everything is.
What exactly are you trying to get at here? I don't need you beating around the bush any longer, so get to your point already.
You really suck at understanding things, huh, Aubrey? What I'm saying here is that we would all be better off with someone like yourself, who only graduated from high school, going off and joining a larger company as a base-level employee. And that goes for all the rest of the uneducated higher-ups and employees here. They should all go and have a taste of what it's like working for actual companies that know what they're doing.
Listen, Melody. You have only just joined this company and have not really even put in a month's worth of good work. So you have no right to say something like that about me or anyone else in this company. First, I want you to actually start doing your own job correctly to the point I can call it perfect before you start to suggest things like that to me.
I've already been doing my work to the standards set by PDCA. I also happen to have graduated from a university and am on another level compared to all you high school graduates. Yet I'm still having to sit in this office surrounded by idiots who can't seem to do their jobs right. Basically, what I'm saying is my talent and my education is being used to clean up all their messes, right?
Oh, if you're going to bring something like that up, then please allow me to say this. The kind of work that you've been completing and handing in to me has not been perfect. Or at least to the standards this company tries to hold. Just a little while back, a report that you handed in was full of mistakes that you would have been able to correct had you gone through and proofed your papers. Also, the way you constructed said report was a bit off, and the writing made it seem as though I was reading something a middle schooler wrote. Did you notice any of those mistakes before handing in the report?
Well, here's the thing. You would never understand the kind of work I'm capable of doing. I must be too smart for all of you because that report I handed in was perfect.
Even though there were simple spelling errors that made it in the report as well?
The reason I made all of those errors was for all your guys' sake. Had I spelled things the way they were supposed to be spelled and used larger words, none of you higher-ups would have been able to read my report in the first place. I wouldn't want you all misunderstanding the hard work I've put in, all right?
That doesn't seem to be the case, though. You seem to only be saying that as a way of covering up the fact that you never took writing seriously back in school. None of what you've handed in so far is up to par with either business-based languages or business-based etiquette. I've had a hard time so far reading the work you've handed in because it is all too vague and there are plenty of grammatical errors that even an English teacher wouldn't be able to fix.
What?
If you really want to play a major part in this company, in this world, then you're going to have to do a lot better than that. Most employees do their best to make their work legible and efficient to read. One of the ways they do that is by using more difficult vocabulary and keeping the grammar basic but respectable. That's what I expect you to be handing in as well. Not this poorly written nonsense that ends up being thrown in my trash can at the end of the day because there was no benefit to even trying to decipher it.
That just happens to be your opinion on my work, right? You are all below me in terms of education, and that's why you can't understand the type of writing I use. Right? I'm only writing like that in order to help you all have a chance to understand me. But if you're not going to accept my kindness, then that's all the more reason why this company is so low level.
Look, Melody. Right now you're talking down about the company you both applied for and then hired into. Why would you make comments like that about this company when you made the conscious choice of coming and joining us?
Let me tell you right now, I never took looking for a career that seriously. That's why I'm in a circus like this company right now. You, however, seem to be the one that's misunderstanding what position they're really in. You're supposed to be a manager, yet you keep complaining about my easy-to-read and perfectly crafted report, saying things like the wording being unprofessional and that the grammar is bad. I think that you, being a brainless high school graduate, plays a major part in your complaining, old lady.
Do you have any idea what you're saying to your boss right now?
I sure do, Aubrey. But if I don't keep talking to you like this, you'll never get it, right? I need you all to know just how inefficient your company is. That's why I'm currently taking this time to tell you how stupid everything is here and that you all need college degrees or something.
Melody, please listen to what I'm about to tell you right now. I'm not sure where you learn to think like that in life. You can just get away with belittling others because you have a college degree. But in the real world, things do not actually work that way for you. Maybe you were forgiven in college for being rude and childish, but here it will not be accepted. If you don't start to understand that and change that mannerless attitude of yours, things will become very difficult for you in this world.
Ah, there it is. All of you older women are like that, talking like they know about everything. This world is not forgiving. You must listen to your elders. Learn how to be responsible. That's what you've all been saying to me, like you have any idea what the real world is like now.
And if you stick around long enough in the real world, you begin to understand that what we're saying is true.
Well, I don't want to listen to all of that baseless and shallow preaching from people like you. Now, what I'd like you to take from this conversation today is that I can't work with anyone here. Everyone is slow, and I am never getting any support from any of them. Everyone here is just completely brain dead, so would you please just fire me already?
Why are none of your coworkers ever supporting you? It doesn't matter if they graduated from high school or college, they are all getting the same kind of work as you. If you'd like to support with something, then come to one of the higher-ups and ask. They should not be expected to come and help you, as they all have work of their own and are not bound to helping you. And one other thing, people in your position shouldn't really need any help, as the work you're doing is both basic and given a lot of time to be completed.
Well, I'm telling you right now that them not ever working to help me is because they don't have the brains to do so. And that's because they all never got a college education. So you should maybe start hiring educated people to come work here instead of these brainless and slow zombies. But of course, you are also in the same boat as all of them, so you'd never be able to understand what I'm saying here. Well, it's whatever, I guess. Make sure to start getting everyone in your department to actually finish their work on time for me, please.
Your job as my subordinate is to make sure that you have your work done on time. If you don't want to have to stay late at work every day, then become more efficient, while also making less careless mistakes. You've just graduated from college, which does not mean anything to this company, and you need to be aware of that.
Don't start blaming me for always having to stay late. See you tomorrow.
Melody.
Aubrey, hello. I have something that I'd like to check on with you. Can you spare me a little bit of your time?
Hello, Selena. Hopefully you've been having yourself a good day today. You can go ahead and say what you'd like to say. Did something happen?
I'm not too sure that what I have to talk about is something I should be bringing up with one of my managers, but this has to do with Melody. And that's why I think it might be okay to talk with you.
Melody. Did something bad happen between you and her?
To be frank, having to work around her a lot of the time is a real hassle for me. She's always telling me to handle her work for her, making it more and more difficult for me to get my own tasks managed. And it's not just me, but a few other people in the department that she's starting to upset. We all have tried to voice our feelings to her, but that seems to only make things worse.
So that's what's been happening. But why would someone like her be asking all of you to start handling her work for her? Is it because she's not able to get all that work done by herself? If that's the case, I just told her she needs to come to me or another higher up about having too much work on her plate.
Well, it could also be the case that it's too much work for her. But I think that the main reason behind all of this is, well, it's because she loves to look down on all of us who never went to college. She feels that it's her right to force all of your work onto us because she was able to graduate from a university.
Ah, I see. That woman really seems to hold a lot of pride in the fact that she graduated from college. And that's led her to also thinking that she can make fun of those who don't have the same education as her. Is that the reason why even now you're still at your desk and haven't gone home?
No, I'm getting it all done right now and we'll head home. But I have to be honest, I'm really getting burnt out right now, having to do all of her work on top of my own. I would really love to just be able to focus on the tasks given to me. I don't think it's okay that a new hire like herself gets to take it easy by forcing everyone around her to finish her work. I really don't like what's going on here, and that's why I've come to you.
I see, Selena. Thank you for letting me know about this. The fact that even with her pushing all of her work onto you, you're still able to finish both loads on time is good motivation for me to have you promoted soon. But you should not have to work that much within this company, and neither should anyone else in the department. I'll make sure to handle Melody and to see to it that never happens again.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me.
Once again, thank you for taking the time to let me know about this.
You're really going to keep forcing me to work with all these brain-dead zombies? I already asked you once to fire me, and now I might have to take it upon myself to leave this company.
The day isn't even over with yet, and I'm not sure why you're getting so upset. Are you really going to leave this company because of what you find to be others working less efficiently than you?
I can't believe that you're still talking to me like that when I graduated from a university and you didn't. Really, though, it would be nice if you gave me your job and came and joined all these useless idiots around me.
All I did was tell you about those mistakes you've been making on your reports recently and about the way you've acted towards your manager. Also, I heard about how you've been pushing off a lot of your work onto your other coworkers of yours. I cannot allow you to do things like that anymore, and that's why I've started to warn you about it in person. The way you're getting upset with me for trying to warn you is not the way a self-respecting adult should behave.
Stop preaching to me, you old hag. It's getting on my nerves for real now. I don't even get how you were able to become a manager for this company considering you never went to college. But now you're literally making no sense at all, so how am I supposed to continue working for all of you?
I see. I'm not sure how you're supposed to work in an environment like this then. I'll get to work on having you fired then.
This company's going to fall apart soon. And letting a high-spec college graduate like myself go is going to be the thing that brings this company down. You'll all see.
And we'll get to see if you're able to find another job after today. Good luck, Melody.
After losing me, things have been very, very tough there, right? I guess I have no choice but to go back there and save you all from going bankrupt now.
Is that you, Melody? Long time no see. I'm not really sure what you're going on about right now, but that's okay. I just want to know why you think you're coming back here now. Does this mean that you never ended up finding another job for yourself and expect we'll let you back in?
I never said I didn't find anywhere else to work. It's just that recently I remembered all of you guys in that company. I know that after having let me go, you've all been struggling to keep the company afloat, right? That's why now I'm saying that I'll give up all the other jobs I could be getting to come back and save all your skins.
Ah, well, if that's the case for you, then don't worry yourself too much because this company's doing just fine. Actually, ever since we got rid of you, all the employees in my department have been working a lot more efficiently and they haven't had to work late all month. Thank you so much for giving me the idea of getting rid of you.
Huh? There's no way things are going that well, right? I graduated from college, all right? I will always be way better than all the high school graduates that company chose to hire.
Well, look, Melody. How much longer do you think you can keep using your educational background as a way of bragging about yourself? In this world, the only thing worth bragging about is how well you get your work done once you've joined a company. Nobody cares about where you graduated from or with what degree.
Well, before I could actually get any decent work done there, I left, right? Once I'm back in there, I'll make sure to show you all what a college graduate like myself can really do.
I wonder about that one, Melody.
What?
After you were out of here, all the employees that only hold high school diplomas started to work a lot better again. A lot of them are already on track to be promoted or getting raises now. Ever since you were ousted and all of that work you forced them to do has disappeared, they've all been able to get their work done ahead of schedule.
I see. So they all finally started to take the work I was giving them seriously, and that led to them all becoming a bit more efficient. That's what you're saying, right?
The work you were forcing them all to do was your work and only yours. Not a single person said it was okay for you to go around the office like that making others do your work for you. None of your coworkers nor the higher-ups were okay with that.
But I was doing all of that in order to get them all to be closer to the level I'm at and better employees. You have to understand that the work they've been getting done this month was all because of me.
Then that must mean the level that you were trying to get them to work at wasn't all that impressive. You went through all that trouble to make other people do your work for you, and yet you still did not make a good impression here. That just goes to show you that your pride in being a college graduate is no use to you, and that it's only going to continue to drag you down.
I can see that. But if you let me back into that company, I'll make sure to get my work done by myself. And then you'll begin to notice my true strength, and I'll be promoted to even higher positions than the rest of them. I know that'll happen. You all will be happy to have me back, and the company will be able to start growing again.
Melody, why were you not able to find another job? I remember you saying to me that you'd go join a larger company because there was no way an employer would say no to you. What ended up happening that caused you to want to come back here?
Well, about that, nobody was able to see just how important of a person I really am. No matter what I'd say and explain to them, they just never managed to understand me. In other words, I'm such an amazing person that it's kind of become a problem for me.
Are you sure all of that wasn't just happening because of what I told other companies about you? And I'm sure whenever you did get an interview, your lack of business etiquette didn't carry you very far.
I was only using the most basic of words that us college graduates know and make sure to act just like I'd expect any company to expect from me. Anyone that actually went to college would understand the way I was talking and acting, to be honest with you.
Then tell me, what was the end result of you acting and talking like that? Was you acting all cool and acting like you knew more than those who were interviewing you enough to land you a position in any of those companies?
Well, I'm far too important for any of those companies, and that's why they couldn't hire me. Overqualified is what they call that, right? They didn't think that someone as high level as me should be wasting their time in their companies.
Well, if that's how you want to see things, then go ahead and keep believing in that. However, to me and the rest of this company, we do not need you to work for us, so go out and keep looking for a job, please. I'm sure that there's some place in the world that'll understand just the kind of special you really are and are willing to hire you.
Huh? Why aren't you guys hiring me back? I just graduated from a university and am saying that I'll come back and work for this company that's filled with brainless high school graduates. Go on and fire one of those losers and take me. Please. By doing that, you'll be helping out the company a whole lot.
When you had been working for this company, you didn't do anything worth our payroll. However, all of those that you deemed too stupid to work alongside you have been doing so well this past month that they're all beginning to get bonuses, using the money we no longer have to hand to you. There's no point in me firing one of them just to have a useless worker like you come back to the office.
You just don't get it because you're a high school graduate yourself. That's why you keep thinking that all your other little high school diploma-holding buddies are better than me. That is not at all fair.
And I find it very unfair that you believe you should be hired back into this company only because you made it out of college. You never did anything worthwhile in this company.
Excuse me? Did you just say that to me? A college graduate wasn't worthwhile there?
Just because you could study in college does not mean you're automatically fit to work a job.
Then tell me what I need that is more important than my degree.
You need to have the ability to take responsibility for your own work as well as communicate properly with your coworkers and higher-ups. You also need to have a basic understanding of a company structure and not speak out of line when talking about something you have no idea about. I do agree that going to college is very important for some companies, but for this one, that's not the case. We happen to take pride in the employees we have because they show discipline and get their work done.
You have no idea who I even am then.
Before you could even get around to showing us you were disciplined and could actually do your work properly, you asked to be fired and left. So please don't start saying that I don't know you, when I know you better than even yourself knows you. Now you take responsibility for your actions and go find yourself a different job. And in the meantime, take a moment to actually think long and hard about your future and that it'll take more than just a simple degree from college to make you successful.
Understood. And I would really like to learn about all those things now. So please hire me back so that I can learn them within that company.
No. There is no reason for this company to have you back. It would only be a demerit for us here, so once again I have to say no.
Why the hell not?
While you were out this past month failing at finding yourself a new job, the rest of my department had been getting all their work done and pushing this company forward. I do not have the time or patience to hire you back and have you work here again, trying to teach you everything most of them already knew before they were hired in.
Well, it's not my fault. The company is filled with a crap load of high school graduates. And I thought it would be better for me to leave and join a company filled with college graduates than keep working with a bunch of people less efficient than me.
And you would have only found the same thing in those other companies. They might now have the same amount of high school graduates as we do working for them. When it comes down to things like efficiency and having to stay late, they too would suffer by having you in their ranks. I understand what you're trying to say, but the only difference in my understanding from yours is that you are the reason there are so many problems. You think it's okay to pawn off your work onto others, making them less efficient. And along with that, you go around belittling those very coworkers that are already being forced to do your work for you. This company does not need you. We do not want you.
Please, I get that what I was doing wasn't right, but if you don't take me back, then I'm going to end up some kind of shut-in that has to move back with their parents' house. I will work a lot harder now and take responsibility for my work, so please give me another chance. I was hoping to join one of those huge companies and make loads of money. I took out a lot of money from my savings and have even gone into debt now, buying all kinds of expensive suits to make myself look good in those interviews.
Melody, you really have no method to your madness, do you? And I don't mean this just because you lack being a proper office worker, but because you lack being a proper member of the society we live in. Don't think that someday this world will spoil you for always talking about how high-leveled you are, or whatever that means. It won't. And it never will until you start to prove yourself in a very serious and respectable manner. Now you leave me alone and go learn the hard way that it's not your education that defines you, but the willpower and experience you bring to the table. After that, Melody continued to text me and call all the phones in the office asking to speak to me about getting her job back in the company. I blocked her on my phone after a day of nonstop notifications from her, but with her calling the office so many times, I finally caved. That she could start working part-time to show that she would change, without telling her what job would be. And without telling her what the job would be, she said yes, and the following day was introduced to me telling her she'd be a janitor for the company. At first, she would make snarky comments around me and others about how she should be working in the office like the rest of the So to get her to stop bothering everyone during the day, I changed her schedule so that she'd have to come in at night. This only started to degrade her spirits even more, and soon after that, she just stopped showing up. She went out once more to look for work, but still couldn't find a company who would even dare hire her, which then sent her back to her parents' house. There, she turned into a real shut-in, relying on both her parents to do everything for her. She really did have all her pride put in her education and not a single thing else. However, this world does not care about one's educational background when they have nothing to show for besides college debt and a sheet of paper. I hope what happened to her has opened her eyes a little, and that someday she turns her life around by getting a simple part-time job somewhere, where she can start to learn about what it really takes to be a proper employee. Well, that's the life she's going to have to live now, and it really has nothing to do with me. So no matter what path she chooses to go down next, I won't have anything to do with it. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.